welcome back to Bluudys Garage. In this video I will be installing a big ass pod filter on my Subaru. This is brand new, been in the garage I don't know how long. We're going to get it on the Subaru and make the Subaru sound freaking awesome. Let's freaking do it. What do I need for this crazy job, I hear you ask? I need one of them. That is a 76mm 3-inch adapter thing, and it has the MAF attachment, so I can put the MAF airflow sensor on that. And I have my big ass pod filter, which is going to fit on there. All I need to do now is remove the airbox. Let's go to pop your bonnet, lift it up, and what we need to do is remove this airbox. There are a couple of bolts and clips to take all this off. This will go back on because this will give us a cold air feed, and we are going to connect the new pod filter, hopefully in there, in that area. We will start by removing these clips. That will allow us to take the intake pipe off. Right, there we are. Let's put that up there out of the way. Save these little clips for now. We have obviously the airbox. It's got a couple of bolts on it. We've got the 7mm, or you can use a flathead to take that off, and the box should then come out. On these 10mm. Now what I need to do is, well, that's not actually attached, so that's nice and easy. So pull that one off, take them out, undo that, take them out with a posi screwdriver. Mass airflow comes out, airbox comes out. I'm going to attempt to undo it first. There we go. Then we're going to unscrew it out of here. Because they're very small. Now save our mass airflow. That's very, very important. We need that, otherwise the car will not run. So if I move that pipe out of the way, in fact, splitting it in half help. There's one half of it out. I have a blue air filter. I don't know what brand that is. I don't know if it's OEM or what, but it's blue. There's no brand stamped on it. But we have a blue air filter. It's a little 10mm that's inside. It looked like it was a bung. That's nice and easy. We'll get our 10mm. Put it on a little gun and drop it into the engine bay. Yeah. There we are. Save the nut. It's actually under there. That's good. Now it comes off. So here we have an airbox with a resonator tube on the bottom. That changes the pitch or the noise, I believe, in standard form. If I end up not liking this induction noise, then I may end up putting this box back in and leaving, taking this off. But at this moment in time, this is going in there because I'm concerned that there's so much access to the road down there, but I'll show you in a second. So now we have our new piece of intake. I've got a big giant Jubilee clip that I can use to clamp this K&N air filter onto the mass airflow pipe. So what I've actually done is I've pushed the screw to the bottom so you can't see it, so it looks a bit neater, because if I ever have to remove this, I remove it off of there, take it off the car, and then I can undo it. So this is the massive chasm that's in the inner wing. But at this moment in time, it's going to suck in all the cold air, but I have to be careful going for any puddles. Just theoretically it shouldn't splash up because of the way the wheels will be turning, but I just have to bear that in mind. But yes, I've got this massive chasm of cold air that's going to come in. So yes, there'll be a bit of heat soak potentially from this side, but I could, this is like iteration 1 of the intake. If I like it, I can box this section off so it just gets the air from here. But for now, I just want to see if it sounds nice. So let's get it attached, let's get the mass airflow in, and let's get it fired up. So we can go ahead and pop that into there. And if I like it, I can then go and replace this piece of hose with a new aftermarket piece of hose. But for now, with it being rubber, it will seal up. That's the wrong way around. There we go. Post on there, and then a screwdriver. Well, it's a good job there's a hole there. That's twice. It's a case of attaching this on. It's lovely and long. Now I'm just going to secure this up out of the way so it doesn't rattle, and then we can start it. So now the filter's in and attached and secure, we connect this intake pipe back on, because you may as well, because it sucks the air from the front, feeds it to exactly where it needs to be fed. Push them in, plus it makes the bay look a bit tidy as well. We're not trying to remove all the plastic, that's not going to benefit anything. But that's on, feeding the cold air to our cold air intake. Now it's time for first fire. I like the sound of that. I can hear the turbo feedback through it. Get a bit of induction noise in here. Know where we are. Oh dear. The noise now, team of the exhaust, is just loud. Yobbo. Yobbo-ish, that's what I am, I'm yobbo-ish. The intake isn't as loud as I thought it was going to be, but it does make, well, to be fair, as soon as the exhaust takes over you lose it, but then when you come off and then the you lose it. As soon as that exhaust kicks in over the top, you lose all of the induction noise. Not because it's not there, just because the exhaust is louder. But then as soon as you ease off, back through turbo, well I suppose it is back through turbo, and back through the recirc of obviously the extra pressure, because obviously it has a standard recirculation valve, it's pushed it back through, and you can go pod filter on my Subaru Legacy. Love the sound. Induction noise is really good, even though it gets overtaken by the exhaust in the end. And I think there's a few more pops and bangs coming from the exhaust. So it's obviously doing something to the air-fuel ratio. So I love the noise. I'm going to play around with it. I'm going to listen to it and enjoy it for a week or so. 1 week later. So since installing this massive air filter, I love the noises, but I've now done a 120-mile journey and it's horrendous. It's absolutely horrendous. The car kangaroos, so like if you're doing like partial throttling, trying to accelerate in second or third, it's like that because it doesn't know what to do. And I can only assume it's because I've changed the shape of the metered air that's going through the mass airflow sensor, and it doesn't like it anymore. So I'm actually putting the airbox back on because I miss the drivability, and the noises is not worth the drivability. So it's all coming back off and the airbox is going back on. So I'm going to transition from this into when I figure out how to do the transition into an airbox. So from that, ta-da, back to standard. This means it's going to run much better. So the issue that I've got is, I think because the diameter of the pipe has changed that the mass airflow sensor sits in, the car is obviously reading the air different, and because effectively it's not mapped for the amount of air that's going in, it likes to kangaroo, and kangarooing is not fun, and it struggles to accelerate, and it's just not a nice driving experience. So that's why I've gone back to the airbox. At a later date, if I would like to get the car mapped, I might put the filter back on and we'll map it up with the filter. I like the noises it made. I also didn't like the noises it made some of the time as well, so I'm probably going to end up sticking with the airbox. But I've had it on, I did 120 miles with it on, and I decided that I don't like it anymore. So it is now off. I'm back to the standard airbox, and the standard airbox is lovely. Oh, it's lovely. Lovely. So what have we learned? My Subaru Legacy does not like the big pod filter. I took it for a drive now. It's back to being smooth, and it just runs perfectly. Yeah, I do miss the noises, but it's not worth the noises for the lack of drivability with it kangarooing around. Now I can just hold a throttle wherever, and it just drives fine. So miss the noises, but much better for the car. So that's the conclusion of this video really. Don't stick a big pod filter on your Subaru. Well, certainly not on this engine anyway, because it doesn't like it. You might be able to map it up, and it might work better with a map. I'm not doing that with this car, so I ain't taking it for any map anytime soon. So there we go really, that's the conclusion. Don't stick a big jack pod filter on your Subaru. That is not the way I thought this video was going to turn out. So thank you for watching, thank you for seeing me install it. It might be helpful for them ones that want to install a big pod filter, but you probably have to get it mapped afterwards. But for me, back to standard. I'll live with standard for now. Thank you for watching. Thank you to my patrons, Nick and Paul, for obviously following me on Patreon if you want to do that. Link is in the description, and obviously you can follow for more videos. Thank you very much everyone, see you in the next video, take care, bye bye!